Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this special meeting of Council. I now declare this meeting open at 9:31 a.m. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the direction of Council officers and the emergency procedures on the wall near the door. This special meeting of Council has been called in accordance with Section 84(1) of the Local Government Act of 1989 for Council to consider a motion in relation to a prior confidential resolution and a confidential report which is a legal matter. This will be the only business to be considered at this special meeting. This meeting has been called under extraordinary circumstances, and unfortunately we have been unable to provide our usual 7 days notice of this special council meeting, as the matters to be considered relate to time-sensitive decisions. I also note that I have given approval for Channel 31 to video record this session. It is not our intention that members of the public are recorded, but please advise us if you have any concerns. So we move straight on to item number 1, which is the Acknowledgement of Country. And can I please ask that everyone stand for the Acknowledgement of Country? On behalf of Brimbank City Council, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Wurundjeri people, and to pay our respects to elders past and present. Thank you. Please be seated, and councillors, please remain standing for the council commitment. As the council, we will act in the best interests of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impacts of our decisions. We will make these decisions fairly and without bias. We will uphold all of our obligations under the laws of Victoria and Council's local laws, and will act in accordance with our code of conduct. Thank you, councillors. Please be seated. So we move on to item number 3 on the agenda, which is apologies and leave of absence. I note that Councillor Allan and Councillor Truong have submitted their apologies for today. Moving on to item number 4, disclosure of conflicts of interest. And councillors, are there any disclosures of conflicts of interest this morning? No? Thank you. So we'll now move on to item number 5. And councillors, I'd like to speak on the next item, so I think it would be appropriate for me to do so from the floor rather than the chair. So can I please have a motion for a temporary chair to be appointed? Councillor Giudice moving that Councillor David, Deputy Mayor, assume the chair?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor Heddich. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councillors, we've got one item tonight, the rescission notice motion. There is one rescission listed in today's agenda. Councillors, can I please remind you that as this rescission motion relates to a confidential report, we're unable to discuss the subject matter of that report at this stage of this meeting. The process, an untitled notice of rescission, a resolution seeking to be rescinded. Are there any questions or points of clarification? Mover?
Sorry, Councillor David, I'd like to move the motion, please. I'd like
Thank
to move that Council rescinds all resolutions relating to the confidential report 6.1 legal matter made by Council at the special Council meeting on Tuesday the 9th of July 2019.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Giudice? Okay, I invite the Mayor to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor David. So, councillors, thank you for coming to today's special meeting. I appreciate that this was called under extraordinary circumstances and on the back of a special meeting that we held on Tuesday night. I do need to state that the council did meet its statutory obligations in terms of advertising Tuesday night's special meeting. But what I found after the meeting was that the special council meeting was not, in my personal opinion, advertised enough so that it would be available to general members of the public. So after the meeting, I found that the meeting had not been advertised via social media. It was not in an obvious place on the website, and of course, because it was a special meeting, it had missed the print articles for that week, so it was not in any of the local newspapers. It's my desire, and I know it is a desire of many of you in the room, for us to be open, transparent and accountable for our decisions. And because the decision before us may have been of public interest, I would hate for our community to perceive that we are trying in any way to make these meetings not available to public and not to be transparent about the fact that we are considering such matters. So that is the reasoning for my moving of the rescission motion, and I ask that you all support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Would the seconder like to speak?
Just simply, Mr Deputy, to say that, Madam Mayor, thank you very much for that explanation, and I do accept that explanation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Giudice.
Any other speaks, councillors? Well, I'll put that to a motion. Moved by Councillor Mayor Lucinda Concriff, seconded by Councillor Giudice. All those in favour? Unanimously carried. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor David. Thank you, councillors. Okay, we will now move on to item number 6 of the agenda, which is the designation of items as confidential. There is one item to be designated as confidential today, and may I have a mover of a motion to designate that item as confidential? Councillor Papafodio.
As printed in the papers.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Borg. All those in favour? Carried. Sorry, I've lost my place. Okay, we are now moving on to, Okay, so there is now one confidential item for consideration by council today, and may I have a mover of a motion to close the meeting to members of the public for consideration of report 7.1, which has been designated as confidential. Moved by Councillor Giudice, seconded by Councillor Borg. All those in favour? Carried. We'll just wait one moment while we close the doors to the public, and thank you. Thank you everyone for your patience, and thank you for attending this morning's special meeting of council, and I would like to now declare the meeting closed at 9:47 a.m. Thank you.